So here's the thing. I always say this. I always emphasize on this. Reading with Quran in your hands is a different kind of experience because you're physically engaged in reading Quran. So if you're reading Quran in a bid to understand it, you can have it digitally in your mobile phone as an app, and you can go through Quran in Google Chrome because there are so many sites that are offering you this exactly same Quran, because Quran is exactly the same wherever you go online or whatever. So you can do that, and you don't have to do wudu for reading that digital Quran. Because but there is something that I cannot express in my words. It's inexplicable in a sense that you get another feeling when you try to, connect directly with the pages of Quran in your hands. It's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing that the book readers tell you about. Those people who read a lot, they tell you that it's better to have a book in your hand. It's better to have a paperback or a hardcover in your hand, and go through that hardcover or paperback to connect with the book better, so that you have a better psychological connection with the book and the writer and the author. And it makes sense more, and it will open yourself to you more, and you will be able to grab more and more if the book is in your hands. So it's very important, and in that sense I would always argue that Quran is the book of Allah, and it deserves to be read while in your hands, right? Of course, I understand that there might be situations that you would not be able to, take Quran in your hands, and there will be situations that you're running out of time and you don't have time to have ablution. You just want to go through Quran at the same time, and you have that feeling, and that's why you have Quran app in your mobile phone, and you're just going through Quran. And I understand that it's perfectly all right. I'm not a mufti to say that this is jaiz or najaiz or halal haram. I'm not someone in a position to say that. But what I'm saying is, it's better to always prefer, if you're in a position that you can do that, it's always better, it's always prioritized to do it that way, because that has different barakat. Having Quran in your own hands and reading it with your eyes, through the mushaf, through the physical mushaf, through the actual mushaf, it's something different. It connects at a different level. It connects with your heart on a different note. So it's very important that you do that as a person trying to understand, trying to go through Quran, and understand the messages of Quran. It's very important. It's very powerful activity, and if you are able to do that, trust me, it's a great activity. So it's always a great activity to grab a copy of Quran, a hardcover, a paperback, whatever is available. I personally would like to go through a hardcover, because it's better than a paperback to handle for me as a person. Some people like paperback, so you can find a paperback Quran, but most of the Quran in Pakistan are not paperback. The translations might be paperback, but the Quran, the Musaf itself, is not paperback. It's mostly hardcover, as I've seen in Pakistan. So it's important to have that connection. And when you have it in your hands, it's another feeling. It's another kind of experience, and it's another kind of learning. And the way you go deeper when you're really engaged personally in reading the book of Allah, right, from within your hands, right, it's a different kind of experience. So to grab that experience and to enhance your learning and wisdom, it's important. And to keep a copy of Quran, for that matter, when you're traveling somewhere, is important. It's also going to be very helpful. And if you're traveling to other countries, foreign countries, especially in countries where you would think that normally Quran is not available, for example, if you're traveling to Australia and America, in America even you can get Quran everywhere, but still there will be countries where it's hard to grab a physical copy of Quran. Then of course you can open your mobile and read it up. But if you think you can carry a Quran, it's a good thing, and you can do that, because you can always continue to learn and understand and derive meanings out of things, and then go through the tafasir online. You can read them, but at least have that connection, because that connection that you have while physically reading the book, having the paperback, the hard copy in your hands, as we say it, it's a different thing. It's a entirely different experience of learning and understanding and perceiving. And so the better we perceive the message, the better it is for our soul and for our body and mind and heart. It's at the same time. So that's why my suggestion is, if you can do it physically, do it physically. And ablution is not that big of a deal in a sense. If you're trying to understand the greater things, 2 minute ablution is not gonna cost a lot. It's a very small cost if you can pay that. It's nothing. It's literally nothing in that great in the great realm of understanding how important this message is for me to understand and to grab and extract maximum out of it for myself. It's actually you yourself benefiting yourself. It's your benefit. So in that sense, it's not that great of a cost to pay, and I think it's good. If you can do that, you should do that, and I will try to do it myself. I myself prefer to do it, but sometimes I'm not able to do it, but I hopefully will inshallah try to take it as a routine, and I will try to do it as much as possible. Try to go through Quran physically always, whenever possible, and whenever it's not, I will try to go through digital, because I do use digital apps and digital platforms to read Quran. But the most favorite thing should always be to grab a copy of Quran in your hands, do the ablution, take ablution, have ablution, have ablution, and go through the book of Allah, try to understand, try to grab the concepts, try to understand the gist of the message, and try to, um, practice it out in your life. And that's certainly going to change your life. People, this book of Allah, as my teacher Ustad Namal Khan says, this book of Allah has changed the world, entire world. It has changed the hearts of millions of people across the globe. It has changed the entire world entirely. It has transformed the world. Why do you think this book will not transform your heart? It will definitely transform your heart, your mind. It will transform your life. It has something which cannot be described in words, as I've told earlier. It's not something that can be expressed in words. It has that. It has that power. It's a very powerful book. And hence it's important for us as Muslims to connect with the book of Allah by physically grabbing the copy of the Mus'haf and then going through it and understanding it and replicating those concepts, those messages in our lives, and spreading those messages across the globe wherever we can and whichever capacity we can. Thank you very much.